dirty clothes on the ground, I pretend I don't see. Candy wrappers are found between the bed and the sheets. My succulents died a million times. Now where do I get
Hello, welcome to the British Museum here in central London. We're back. We obviously live in London and we love the British Museum, and we thought it'd be fun to take you around some of the more controversial items in here. It's obviously been in the news a lot recently, and we're both super interested in history, aren't we, as well?
Absolutely. Let's go.
1. The Rosetta Stone.
So here we are in room 4 of the Egyptian sculptures in the museum. And behind us, you can see the most famous of all, Rosetta Stone.
Rosetta Stone, definitely the first one on our list of interesting items that are still a little bit disputed and controversial.
So let's take a look.
So the Rosetta Stone, probably the most famous thing in the British Museum, showed the translation of Egyptian hieroglyphics, so it was really important, and it was taken by the British in 1801. And Egypt has been requesting it back ever since, apparently. There was an official request in 2003 where Egypt said, quote, "The artifacts stolen from Egypt must come back."
Two, the Ggle Shield.
So here we have an Aboriginal shield from Australia.
It's called the Ggle Shield. I probably mispronounced that, but it's an Aboriginal shield that was obtained by Cook when he originally landed there, and has since been in our possession and has been repeatedly requested by the Aboriginal authorities in Australia. And here it is.
So they've got a little reference, collecting an empire and colonisation. I believe it was offered on loan to Australia, but they said no, they want it permanently.
So here we are in the Enlightenment room, where the vast majority of the collection here was donated by Sir Hans Sloane, who we're going to go and have a quick look at. Slightly
Sloane
controversial.
Square is named
Correct,
after?
Sloane Square. And some elements of controversy, more of his time as a slave owner and relatively controversial figure. So
Here he
go.
is, actually.
To the museum. So according to the museum, there are real plans to try and address some of the aspects of slavery and colonialisation, of course, of which a lot of the legacy is here in this room, and we'll see how that evolves over time.
It is a really beautiful, stunning room. Love the bookcases, and it feels very much like someone's collection of things, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, you can certainly sense this is like pride of place in someone's.
They were a collector.
Home, and I mean, there's pretty much a bit of everything in here. So much to dig into.
From across the empire.
So what do we have here?
Interesting medals from George III was particularly passionate about making medals to commemorate things. this fantastical cabinet that they were stored in.
Three Assyrian artifacts.
So in one of these is depicted a scene where the king is hunting lions, which have been caged for him to then hunt. So it's one of these. Yeah.
There it is.
After the hunt.
This is the king getting
Yeah.
the lion.
So he's the last king of the Neo-Assyrian Empire. So after him, when he died, the Neo-Assyrian Empire ended. This is the end of this particular period. So these were all taken from Syria during our colonial occupation.
Imagine how difficult it must have been to get them all back, I guess, on land.
Clearly these were part of a palace of one of the last kings of a particular period of ancient history for Syria. So interesting that we still have them all here. But yeah, every single one of these panels, you can see an inscription which runs across the middle of every single panel. This is actually a language. Although it looks like patterns, it's actually an inscription, and it's the king's inscription.
Four, the Elgin Marbles.
So probably one of the most famous things are the marbles from the Parthenon in Athens, the Greek sculptures, I think, called the Elgin Marbles, after the person that brought them back to the UK. And lots of dispute between the Greek government and UK about these. So I think these are the most famous ones. Lots of them are beheaded, as you can see.
5. The Moai stones.
So, special marks for anyone that can pronunciate this one. Obviously looks like the Easter Island statues. Very famous, or infamous, depending on your take. It's probably the same, it's taller than me, right?
It's taller than you. Yeah, it's longer than
Slightly
you.
bigger head than me.
A little bit.
What about now?
Proportion.